Bait Al Baranda is hosting the exhibition by David Willis called Traditional Oman and is being supported by Kimchi Ramdas. The exhibition, inaugurated by His Highness Sayyid Harib Tuwaini Al Said, Secretary General of the Ministerial Council for Conferences, will be on until November 16, 2014.
And now let's meet the legend, the renowned artist David Willis, who's really dedicated a lot of his years on Oman itself. Came to Oman in 1979, went back and came back in 1986. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir. Could you tell me what really attracted you when you came in 1979, when you saw Oman? What is that first thing you realized that you need to stay and paint here more?
Oh, just the landscape and the people, colourful people. When you go to other places, they become westernized, but Omani, they kept their culture and their costumes. So everywhere you went, it looked wonderful, really. You go to the markets and anywhere Sur and with the boats and the mountains, and it's really good. So it's such a colourful place.
Yeah. Now we reached the millennium, we're in 2014. Do you think what you were really in love with then in 1979 and 86 is still there for you to capture the moment?
There are still echoes of it. It's changed dramatically since that time, but there's still enough around. Certainly the landscapes stayed the same, and the desert and the sea. And I can remember what it was like, you know, before, and also I do a lot of research with books and photographs, old photographs, to just try and recapture the old ways.
Which is your favorite place that you have really felt you have to capture the moment? I mean, if you look at this, is it Sur?
Yes, Sur was very good. The boats did come in, and in fact, in the early days when we arrived, when they bought the fish in here, yes. Then they bring a donkey down onto the beach, and they would he's tying the fish together, yes. And then they would put it over the donkey, and the donkey would take it to the market. I haven't seen that has just disappeared. That was
because now we have the fiberglass boats,
and now the fiberglass. We have a bridge here. Yeah. We have suspension bridges here. But when we came, there used to be a little ferry boat would go across to the other side. So it changed, but that's progress. You can't stop that, you know.
You have a lot of the sceneries, especially seems to be a passion. But also when we go to the other collections where it's inside the interior of the forts, yeah. The light is amazing. You've really captured it.
Well, some artists, they come here, and when they first come, they are still using European light, which has heavy shadow and that. Where in Oman, it's very bright, and you have a lot of reflected light. So you have to bring out, you don't have the shadows too deep, too dark, too grey, things like that. There's a lot of light reflected off the sand and the ground, so you have to lighten your palette.
So that's
to
a
actually
secret.
Capture the light.
Okay. How long did it take for you to understand that technique?
Fairly soon, because I had painted in the desert in the Sahara. I had painted there in the desert, and so I noticed there. And you have to. When I first came to Oman, I used to go and do a lot of painting on the spot with watercolor, and so then I could study the light and the colors and everything like that. So that way I built up, you know, even though I do a big painting like this in the studio, I can't do it out on the spot. I still remember how the colors, and still have to be careful that I get the colors right.
How about the paintings? Has it reached an international market? I'm sure it has. But from your perspective, how does the world see on scenic paintings and the life?
It's a different market for what I paint for. I paint for all my paintings are bought by Omanis and it stays in Oman because they appreciate it. The trouble with realistic painting is usually the people that want to buy it are the people that know the subject, relate to the subject. So, you know, paintings in Oman be very difficult to take somewhere else and sell unless they had some connection with Oman. So it's not like, say, the international art market where the modern art you can sell anywhere because it can go in any place.
Well, I wish you all the best in this wonderful journey of art, but a lot of passion is what we see, and life. Thank you for your time and for the experience you've given us.
Thanks for coming.
With his extensive travelling, David has been lucky to witness firsthand many of the scenes that he has depicted at the exhibition called Traditional Oman, which really looks into paintings he has completed in 4 years' time. But what David Willis probably did not realize is that unknowing to him, the artist's paintings had become an inspiration for a young boy in Sohar, Dawood Al-Shibli.
And of course, it's the lifelike paintings that really attracts. But we're going to meet an artist who actually started his drawing or painting career with the work of David Willis. And Dawood Al-Shibli, you're from Sohar, but this is the artist you really worked with because you copied his work, and that's how you began your career.
Yes, actually, my first oil painting was David Willis' artwork. I copied his painting. I learned lots of things from colors, from composition, lots of things actually, and I became a better artist because of that start actually.
And do you exchange notes with him? Do you ask him questions? Do you meet him often?
It was a pleasure and honor to meet him. I asked him some questions, and he was happy to answer those questions, and I got from his experience actually.
You just met him today for the first time?
Yes, yes.
Did you show him your paintings that you did from him, inspired from his work?
No, the talking was about his paintings actually, because he's like 10 stages above my level.
Wow. And I'm sure it's an inspiration because you meet someone who's been so special because you only known him through his artwork, and today you saw the person.
Yeah. Actually, it was an honor and a pleasure, and happy to meet him tonight.
And you continue to do the scenic work of Oman?
Yes. Actually, from that time, I was inspired from the Omani nature, and until now, I'm doing views from Oman, portraits. The lifestyle of the current period. So he just recorded the old period of Oman, and now I'm doing the current.
Oh, I like that. The new generation.
So the next generation will see the old Dawood, and they will see his old paintings.
Oh, David and Dawood.
Yeah. So Dawood is David in English.
My God, what a lovely coincidences. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. Today's Dawood, and we're looking forward to your exhibition.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
It is the light that really takes you back in time, and of course the moments the artist has been able to capture it. For example, the sundial and the shadow and the expressions of the people. Of course, this is what would determine and manage the Falaj system. Lakshmi Kothaneth reporting for omanobserver.om.